love this question. I was literally asking the same thing in my first year. So, I am completing my Bachelor's of Science in Neuroscience, so I think I'm qualified to answer this question. So, pretty much, I recorded this video, and then, unfortunately, TikTok and its draft issues and stuff, it got rid of it and it wouldn't load, so I'm recording this again. So I know everything I'm supposed to say. I'm supposed to say it again now. So pretty much I did 4 classes per winter term. So that was from September to the end of December, and then from January to the end of April. So 4 classes and then 4 classes again. So 8 classes, and then each year consists of 10 classes, but then 2 classes over the summer. Now, lucky for me, because for our school, summer terms are split into 2 terms. So one summer term is only 2 months long. So I still had 2 months off or 2 months for doing something else not related to school if I wanted to. I know not everybody has that privilege. You might have to work. Your school might not offer that. I know another school that has their summer term 4 months as well, so they can't have 2 months off if they decide to do summer classes. Or you might want to go back home and visit somebody or visit your family. There a lot of things show up, so the 4 and 2 might not work for you. But personally for me it did work because I had a 2-hour commute. So that's the first thing you need to factor in: transportation, if you're living on campus versus off campus, or if you're living at home. I was living at home and my commute was 2 hours one way. So that's 4 hours of commuting in just one day. So the 5 classes during the winter didn't work for me. But don't let that discourage you. It can totally work for you. I know a few people in engineering who took 6 classes per semester, and they still had this 4-hour commute each day and they thrived, right? So depending on your brain and how you work and all that, different things work for different people. So my experience does not have to equal your experience. And the second thing you need to consider is extracurriculars, depending on which kind of grad schools you want to apply to. You might want that extra time with the 4 classes to do the different things that you need to do, volunteering, internships, etc., etc. And yeah, the third thing you need to consider, I think I said, yeah, third thing, was graduation. Because if you're gonna do the 4 and the 2, that means that you're gonna have your 120 credits after the summer of your 4th year. Now, most people graduate, or most people at our school, I think, graduate in the spring, so in the Aprils, because everybody does their 10 classes per year in the winter. So when that term ends in April, and most people are done in their 4th year in that April. So then that's when majority of the people graduate. I think that's how it works for our school. Like, I see most people graduating in the April of all the school years I've seen happen there. Hey, I don't make sense, do I? Anyways, let me rephrase that. I've seen most people attending April graduations than the ones that happen in the middle of summer for us, because we have the 2 summer terms. So there's one that's like in the middle of the summer, and then there's also a fall graduation. So if you want to graduate with your friends, and majority of them are graduating in April, then you might just want to stick to that schedule and do April graduation. Now, I'm graduating in April as well next year, because I took 5 classes in one of my winter terms, or both of my winter terms, in second year, because I wanted to apply to a school that required me to show them that I can do 5 classes per term. So that's another thing you have to look at, if any of your schools require you to show that you can do 5 classes per term in the winter. Because of that, so I did four first term and then 2 over the summer. And then the second year I did 5 in the winter and then I did 2 over the summer. Third year I did 4 and 4 and then 2 over the summer. So now I only have the 8 classes left that I need to do. So I'll be done in April, but I'm also just going to take extra classes if I want to. So yeah, the moral of the story is that nothing has to, nothing has to be done according to your plan or what you decided before. Things can change. I know so many people that were like, oh, I'm only going to do the 4 years, and they ended up extending their degree to 5 years because of the course load, or they ended up extending it to 5 years because of co-op. So you know what? Just go with the flow, see what works for you, and do that. Don't let your GPA suffer just because you think you need to have 5 and 5 courses. Or I started editing the video and then I just realized that I forgot to say that in the sciences, you're also gonna have tutorials and labs for all of your classes as well. So you also need to factor those into consideration. Just because you're doing 4 or 5 classes doesn't mean that's all you have. Those are just your lectures. You're also gonna have labs on top of that. You're gonna have tutorials on top of that. So do what works for you. Yeah, our chemistry labs are 3 hours long. Those were something. If you want like stories on that, yeah, that's just like a whole different topic. To avoid controversy, I also want to add that outside of the sciences, there are also labs and tutorials associated with classes. So yeah, there's no shame in needing to extend your degree to 5 years if you need to do that. Everything is different for different people. Everything is different for everyone. And do what works for you and do what's best for you. Don't compare yourself with other people. You're gonna do amazing. You're gonna get the most out of life if you do the things that keep you happy and then keep you energized, and do things according to what your brain says is good for you. Good luck, you got this. You're gonna do amazing in whatever you do.